Hi, it's Bill with Mufasa Jeep. Today, what we're going to go over is our little kit. We put together a little kit and we take it everywhere with us to all the shows and stuff because we live in Florida and people leave their sprinklers on. And if you want your rig to look really nice, you keep all this stuff with you just because you wipe down your Jeep when you get there. You don't know, there could be a puddle or mud or somebody sling something out of your car, or it could rain. It rains here almost every day in the summer. So then you can wipe it back down when you get to the show and make your Jeep look nice and show it off. So in our kit, there's a couple products that we don't have any sponsors, but it's just stuff over the years that I've found that work really well. Hopefully, try them, see if they work for you. If not, if you have a better product, hit me up in the comment section and tell me what you use because we're always looking for good new stuff to keep our rigs looking nice and clean. So obviously we washed the Jeep today. I always use like a wash and wax in one. We live in South Florida. It's very sunny here. I don't want the sun to fade our paint. So keeping wax on our vehicles is kind of pivotal here for longevity of having a nice shiny looking car. So the first thing I'm going to take out is plastic restorer. I've seen about 1,000 comments on what do I do to make my black trim look black again. This is something that we just kind of fluked down. We bought it one time, and ever since then, I've personally loved it. So I use it on my bumpers and anything that's black, plastic black, my sidebars, little step rails. I use this on all the black portions of the vehicle, and it really makes it look like new again. I I go as far as I'll spray the frame, I'll spray some of the bars underneath because a lot of people will comment, well, wow, your Jeep's really clean. How long have you had it? And usually, now we're a year and a half in, almost 2 years on this Jeep, and I want it to look like it came off the showroom floor still. And I mean, we do wheel it a little bit, and we get it dirty, it gets muddy sometimes. We take it out to Lazy Springs, we get sand all over it, and some of that white yuck mud, whatever they call it, that silt or whatever that's really hard to clean off. So we like to keep them really clean. So usually when we come back, the first thing we do is spray it all off and get it cleaned up. So I'm just going to use this stuff in front of you, and we're going to go from one part to the next, and I'll go through the process of what it takes to like detail our way of detailing our cars, and if it works for you, that's great. If it doesn't, like I said, leave a comment if you have something that you use and it works really good, because we're more than open to try some other good products because we're always looking for something to make our rigs look nice and clean. So what I usually do is shake this up. I'll burn through with all the black that we have on Jeeps. I'll probably burn through a whole can of this in one cleaning. So this stuff right here, I got from we pick it up at the local Walmart. I think it's like $3.95 a thing. So you're dropping $4 just to make your bumpers and trim look shiny. But for us, it's worth it. So let me go ahead and start spraying this. And the first time I did this, I sprayed it and then I wiped it off. I learned that if you spray it and leave it, it actually kind of meld in and it looks pretty good after. If you get a little too heavy, you might want to wipe a few spots, but it'll take some of this black stuff and make it nice and shiny black again. So I just come in here and we just go crazy with it. Don't worry about getting it on your paint. It wipes right off. There's actually aloe in it, so I don't think there's anything in this that'll hurt your paint whatsoever. I mean, we use aloe on our skin to keep it from cracking, so why not use it on our car? Try not to back into this bush too much because it's prickling me. There we go. We got the bumper. Now get inside the wheel wells because, as you know, these wheel wells are really exposed when you get to your Jeep nice and tall. So when you look at the side of the vehicle, one of the first things you see is inside these wheel wells. Jeep's still a little bit wet from me cleaning it up. I used the drying towel to dry the rest of it off. I didn't get the inside of here very well, but we'll get it. fingers are getting tired. You could see down in here, like there's these little black spots. I washed the Jeep and those black spots kind of stay. That's that silty stuff I was telling you about. Usually if I hit it with this, covers them right up or mostly masks them so it still looks pretty good when you're done. I always hit the top of these shock towers because you want those to look nice and shiny. Okay, for this part, we could see, look at how like gray this thing is. Sun beaten. And like I said, it's probably a year old. It's not really that old, but we're gonna hit it with a nice liberal amount of this stuff and make it back nice and black again. I do get this on my headlights. Usually I go back and wipe it off because it, kind of like makes them look a little weird. So there might be a little bit of cleanup after. It's a tight squeeze in here. Sheesh. So, we might go through 2 cans today. Pretty dry. Let's go back to pesties. We're out. We might have to do 2 cans today. It's been a while since I used this stuff. Usually it lasts pretty good. And we're back. 2nd can. That looks pretty good up there, actually. I think we have to go too crazy. So what I want to do is I can see this is still a little blotchy. I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to do that. We're going to come back and see how it looks to see if we add a little bit more to make it look nice and shiny and even. But for now, I mean, the bumper looks good. The grill looks good. We'll wipe off those lenses. I might have to wipe off that a little bit where we can see where it kind of came down a little bit. But so far it looks great. I know I said I wasn't going to, but can't help it. No, we haven't washed this Jeep in a little bit. So we haven't really done any big events or anything, and we haven't had it out much other than running to the grocery store. So she's looking a little dry. Same as the other side. You go kind of ham with this stuff. Oh, there's a bee. Okay, this side looks good. All right, go around. That looks good. Back bumper is looking pretty good. You can see this side needs a little bit of touch up. Hit it again, make it look nice and pretty. We can see this front. I mean, the grill, nice and shiny again. This doesn't look so gray. It looks nice and black. Got a little bit of water that ran off there. I'll have to clean that up, but go right into the next step. I think this looks pretty good. I'll have to double check the side, but keep moving on here. Tire foam. I use this because it's the easiest. Makes your tires look nice and shiny. On the 40s, you will burn through cans. I'll probably get through one can. Should do all 4 tires. We're gonna find out though. Okay. I think everybody gets it on this. I covered these nice and well. So usually what I'll do is I'll do this because this is going to drip down the rims, and then I do my rims last because I want to wipe off any of this that drips down onto the rims. And I'll show you what I use. I don't think you have to watch the other side. We'll do that another time. So let's go ahead and jump right into, we'll do one of these rims. So I usually go for the darkest rag because you know how brake dust gets all over the rims. It just looks yucky. So what I'll usually do is we'll good old minute wax. This is something else we carry with us. You wash your Jeep, you use the wax wash, and it looks all shiny right now. And then you let it set overnight in the dew and all that stuff in the morning. This is good stuff because you don't want to rewash the whole car, but you do want to make it shiny before you go out somewhere. Hit it with this. It doesn't leave a residue. It wipes off very easily and brings right back to nice and shiny for you. So what I do is this, is I shake it up a little bit. Let's hit the rim. So we clean up the rim a little bit. There we go, get enough in that rim. Usually these rims have this lip, so what happens is we get a pool down here. So I'll dip this in here. We're gonna get that pool out first before I just start going crazy and wiping everything off. Then what I do is these have a lot of these little dips and get little things. I'm using my finger inside the rag here to just wipe out those little dips there. So I want those over, they're right out front, and you want people to, people are most likely gonna, the first thing they see is what's the outermost portion of the rim. So I want to make that look nice. So I kind of, it's a bit of a tedious process to make it look nice, but it's worth it in the end. And just wipe this guy down here. Then I'll go around the inside of the rim. Then what I do is take a finger and stick it in the rag because it's got all these little teeny tiny holes. So we're kind of wiping down the rim, and at the same time we're applying a little bit of wax to it. So it gives it a nice shine. Even though these rims are matte, they'll still shine up nice, and they're not supposed to be really shiny, but they're supposed to have a little bit of shine to them. So do this with them, and nice and clean. There we go. And we go inside these little D windows, or whatever shape you want to call them. Get in there. I can see this lip has a little bit of extra stuff on it. Wipe down this outside face, just like that. That's a presentable rim now. So about 2, 3, probably about a minute or so of work. You can see this tire shine still melding off those big old 40s. Next thing I could show you is with these little metal fenders. I don't know what it is about them. There's just the coating. It doesn't stick. It's not made for longevity. Well, I mean, it's supposed to be made for longevity, but let's be real. This is rocks and chips and stuff hit it. So you'll get a little chip over here or over here on this. So what I carry with me is this bumper repair stuff. And it's a little trick that I've always done. So this is kind of a two-part trick. When I used to live in Ohio, the reason why I would carry this stuff is because in the winter, if you did use your Jeep, the frame would always look rusty. So this was the closest thing to what the frame naturally looked like. So in between washes, I would hit the frame with this and hit it with an extra coat of protectant, another coat of paint. So the other thing it's good for is what I'll do is shake this guy up. We'll come around here because I noticed as much as you want them to stay looking nice and new forever, what is that? Why? It'll be okay. We're going to make that look nice again. So I'll use the cap. We're going to spray some in there and step away from the Jeep. We don't want a bunch of overspray on our Jeep here. You end up getting paint all over your hands doing this. But dip the brush in there. All you want is a little bit. You just want to cover up that teeny tiny blemish. So we work that in. Give it a nice light coat. And then there was one right there. Then it's going to be hardly noticeable. And guess what? It's going to protect it. Because obviously when that gets chipped up like that, it's exposing the metal. And then the next thing you know, you're going to have rust spots. And we're trying to avoid that as much as we possibly can. So those are our little tricks for how we maintain our Jeeps. We love our little kits. Each of us actually has a kit that we keep inside of our Jeep. I keep my foot pegs in here. My door off mirrors are sitting over there because I usually have to tuck them in behind the seat or something. But this has, for the most part, we carry some extra zip ties, some buffing pads, lots of rags. You can never have enough of these rags. I obviously really love this stuff because I think there's 5 cans of it in here. But if we go to a long event like Pigeon Forge, for instance, we don't want to run out of it. We want to have it, and every day I'm going to touch this black stuff up and make it look new again. That's what we do. Hopefully that helps you out some. We went with a kind of a bougie case. It locks in nice and neat. So if we had to throw it in the bed of the truck, we could. It's waterproof. And then, you know, all those stickers you get when you're out at any of the big events like Jeep Beach or any of the big Jeep events. All the people are giving you the swag with the stickers and stuff like that. We put those on our duck buckets and we put them on our little wash kits. It's a cool little thing. You can sticker them up with all the Jeep stuff and it looks pretty cool in the end. And then, you know, hey, that's my bucket. I got my stickers on it. It's cool. Again, Bill with Mufasa Jeep. Like, subscribe, and thank you guys for watching. Share with friends, please. We definitely want to grow the channel. We can't wait for for Pigeon Forge Jeep Invasion. That's coming up here in like 2-ish weeks, kind of, sort of. We're counting it 2 weeks because we leave for Georgia and we get there for a couple days before we head on over to Tennessee. But we'll be doing a lot of videos during then, and it's going to be a really, really good time. We're probably going to add a bunch of content. We're going to do a whole bunch of cool stuff. So definitely keep your eyes out for the videos during the Jeep event because it'll be we'll have some pretty epic videos. I got a new mount for the Jeep and we're going to be doing some off-road stuff. It should be a really good time. So again, like and subscribe, comment. If you guys have any products that you like to use, please share those in your comments. We want to try them out because, I mean, we're all about trying something that works better. Obviously, it's a lot of work to keep our vehicles this clean. But, hey, it's a pride thing. If you have a really nice shining Jeep, somebody's more than likely going to come up and say, oh, that's a nice rig. And that's kind of what it's all about because you put all this hard work in and you want, you know, you have somebody come up and say that, you're like, oh, you know what? I guess I did a pretty good job with this. So, again, thanks for watching. It's Bill, Mufasa Jeep.